Hey you guys, we are live and sorry about being a little bit late, a little technical difficulties. If we have a little trouble with our connection, please let us know and we'll see what we can do about fixing that.
Awesome. Hey guys, it's the Do Carpenter live Saturday show and the always beautiful Mrs. Do Carpenter. I always have to say that. It's just part of the deal. But we've been doing a lot of work out here at the Air Crete lab. It's been in the 40s all week, windy and rainy. And so we were a little bit hindered by weather, especially trying to take the plasma cutter and cut holes in the container. We did get the people door in, and we're super excited about that.
You guys, it was actually kind of funny. We'd get all set up and it would like start raining, like pouring, and we'd grab our stuff and like run into the lean-to and get the plasma cutter out of the way. And then there's times it was just like really light drizzle and we'd like try and cover everything so that it wasn't getting wet.
And I mean, the end of the barn that we call the lean-to is about 10 feet away from the actual Air Crete laboratory, the container. And so, you know, we can step back in out of the rain. I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to put some trusses across here and just totally enclose this into the lab eventually.
Right.
But
best laid plans. Yep.
So let's see what's going on and what questions people have right now, babe.
All right, David Bennett says, Jeff Krupke says the door looks good.
Yeah,
And
it does.
It does look good. We're not quite done. There's a few things we have to finish on it, like the full weld and everything. Oh, I didn't turn my notifications, my volume down. I have to do that so that you guys don't like get blasted with my notifications. Jeff says the door looks good. Thank you, Jeff. And I have what burning boiler stainless steel 6-foot round fiberglass and reflective insulation they have now. Could I ask perlite sand in drywall to make it more insulated? Yes or no? Sorry if I read that.
Can I? Let me see. How can I ask?
He has a stainless steel
Perlite
6-foot
sand.
round boiler with
Right.
fiberglass and reflective insulation, and he's wondering if perlite and sand will help make it more insulated. That's what I understand he's saying.
Right. Well, the perlite is definitely going to add some insulation value. I don't see any value in adding the sand. It's just going to decrease the insulation value. I'd almost have to see a drawing of it and see what was going to be planned. There's definitely, if you added perlite into an Air Crete and aerated it quite a bit, that would definitely insulate it.
Kenny Bean says, good morning from East Washington.
Hey,
Great
Kenny.
job on the door. Thanks, Kenny. And good morning to David Bennett says, oh, there you are. Hello, movie stars. David, you're awesome. Thank you. Wood Burnham boiler.
And thank you so much, Steve Millward. He donated the plasma cutter that we used to cut that out. And I'm going to do a review on that Cut 50 plasma cutter. It's, for the money, I think it was about $200. For the money, it is a great plasma cutter. It just has a real light duty cycle, only about 30%. And so you can cut pretty seamlessly for about a foot, and then you have to let it rest for a minute and then cut again. So it's not one that I don't think I could set up on like a CNC table or something where it would have to continuously plasma arc and cut. But but for what it is, it works great.
Right? It's been awesome. Mike Gunnels Ministry says, hello, everyone. Well, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
William Craig says, hi, everyone. Hi, William. How's it going this morning? David Bennett says, hey, send me that piece of steel.
Yeah, this is the piece of steel we cut out for the door. And Mrs. Honeydew wrote, I love you on it.
And Steve saw it and he goes, well, that's a big Valentine. It might cost a little bit to send that in the mail, though, David. Jim Farley says, how do you waterproof Air Crete?
Well, if you're gonna waterproof it, if you're gonna use it for insulation, for like a wall or a wall panel, you just do a normal wall panel mix. And then you can either put stucco on it and waterproof it that way with a denser mortar mix on the outside, which is what we did for the Air Crete Shop that we built Grandpa back behind his house. Or you can even do just a denser layer of Air Crete. You don't want it so aerated that it soaks in any like acrylic type of a waterproofing that you would put on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say stucco is probably one of the best ways to do it. But also I'm gonna do some experimenting with different thick type acrylic waterproofing things that are meant for waterproofing foundations and waterproofing cinder blocks and things of that nature. But I'm not an expert in it because I haven't done those experiments yet. And I'll know more about the density of the Air Crete and how much you can expand the volume of it with your foam to achieve that. But right now, you can just put a thin 1/4 inch dense layer of like a stucco on it, and that I know works awesome. I'm gonna go grab a prop.
Hey y'all, finally got a notification and the video is looking kind of hazy. It does look a little bit of hazy because of where we set up and the sun and everything, and we wanted to be able to have the door in the background to show you really quick. But if it gets worse or it's like in and out, let us know and we will see about trying to fix that, or maybe moving our camera so it's not as hazy. And Jim Farley says that the door looks great. And Joel Nickerson says hello from New York. And Jeff wants to know where Kenny is in East Washington and what project he is doing.
Hey guys, this box I'm really excited about because we have some samples of some stuff that I've talked about doing some experiments on some Air Crete blocks. And what that is basalt fibers. They take basalt and melt it down and string it into fibers and manufacture it into all kinds of reinforcement products, whether it be rebar or these little reinforcement mesh. And I have this whole box of samples. Here's some examples of the rebar. The rebar is supposed to be 8 times as strong as steel, and it's like 1/8 the weight. The stuff is just light.
Very light.
And I have a ton of samples. And it's called Sudaglass Industries that makes the stuff. Here, I want to show them an example of the fibers. Okay, so we have right here a whole bag of basalt fibers. These are meant for being infused into cement to add strength to it. And I just can't wait to do some bricks and do some batches of Air Crete with these fibers in it to,
Look, they have different sizes
yeah,
of rebar.
I mean, different sizes of,
So here's the other
rebar.
two.
Yeah,
So
these
do you
are
see?
1/4 inch and these are 3/8 and 1/2 inch rebar. And to feel it and to feel these fibers, I wonder if they can get a shot and see the fibers inside that bag. I have about, I don't know, there's about a
Here.
quart in there.
Yeah, there you can get a little bit right there.
And then there's different sizes of mesh. You can see this, and it's all put together with basalt fibers. And just looking at it and feeling it and seeing how light it is, I just don't know why it isn't used more. I'm gonna have to check on the price of getting it, but we've got bags and bags and bags of different types of fibers, and I think it's gonna be fun. They even have a rope, a salt fiber rope, and I guess it's like 8 times stronger than normal fibers. It's crazy.
Right.
But
If you guys can't tell, he's super excited.
and you know, thank you to Steve Millward. He researched it and got those coming to us and brought them to us. And I am just over the moon. He also brought us some polyvinyl alcohol fibers. And so we have all kinds of neat things that we can do some experiments with Air Crete on. And this is all just kind of happened this week that we've got those things. The timing is perfect. It's been a little blustery and in the 40s. I mean, we've had it was like a high of 42 day before yesterday. So it hasn't been the best weather for pouring Air Crete, but I'm hoping this next week is gonna prove a little bit better.
And I saw the one that was asking about the perlite and stuff in the mixtures. He says like a refractor, play heat back into the boiler because I don't have Air Crete right now.
Oh.
So he's wondering if sand and perlite mix would work similar to Air Crete because he doesn't have Air Crete right now.
It's gonna help. The problem is you just gotta watch your nominal size of your perlite, because what's gonna happen is the heavier sand particles are gonna want to densify and go toward the bottom instead of staying homogeneously mixed throughout the whole thing without a binder like Air Crete to hold them in place. Okay? So I would say just go strictly with the perlite right now and leave the sand out, and it would help for sure. It would definitely create a greater R value.
And we might have to move a little bit, honey, because I just felt a raindrop.
Oh.
David Bennett says, oh yeah, hello from Herkimer County in central upstate New York. I don't know if I said that right or not. Joel Nickerson says, looks like you did a great job on the shop. Well, thank you. We're super excited about that. And he's been working really hard on getting that door cut out and put in. And
what's going to be really exciting is, guys, we go to fill our gas cans to run our generator so that we can do these projects that take a high amount of power. But once all these projects are done, it's going to be really fun setting up the solar system and having the solar lights and all the off-grid type, because this shop is off-grid. And to do the experiments with wind turbines and the off-grid stuff that I want to do and incorporating Air Crete into that is going to be epic. I'm really excited about it. That being said, man, I want to show them our sign.
Malber, 1964 says, good morning. I agree. The door does look good. Thank you. Jason says, nice to see the new door installed behind you. Were you worried about sparks from the plasma cutting?
Yeah, we were worried about sparks from the plasma cutting. And so what we did was we measured the corners and where we were going to do it. And on the inside for the vertical lines going up and down, we just put a piece of angle iron right behind where we were cutting so that the sparks would blow right into the angle iron and just fall down. And I had Mrs. Honeydew kind of on fire watch inside to make sure that it all stayed good.
But we didn't like want to cut from the inside out because of fumes and everything. We did have a fan going to help circulate and have good airflow, but we felt it was safer to go from outside in.
Right. And so we did put angle iron on the verticals. On the horizontals, we did angle iron on the bottom again. We just propped it up there and it contained the sparks just fine. And on the top door jamb, I just made a little jig where I hooked a piece of sheet metal that was kind of cupped and arced like that and screwed it to a board at the right height and just leaned it up against it. And
check out our video that we put out Friday morning, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
It has some of that in there. And Beaver Creek says, good morning and love the door. And Greg Walker says, morning to you too. Just back from Dome Gaia build on Costa Rica. I'm officially a Domie. Awesome, of course. Thanks for your influence on Air Crete, which helped me get there. Awesome. That's so cool to hear, Greg. Edie Gray Wolf says, hey guys. David Bennett says, too funny, Mel. Cool. Greg, I'm a Domie too. Right on. That's awesome, you guys.
You know, I'm a Domie too. Mrs. Honeydew is also. She wants me to build her a dome out of...
They call the Domies. That's what they call each other when they go to the Gaia.
Oh.
They call each other Domies. That's
well
their
then,
nickname.
I haven't been to a Gaia workshop, so I'm not a Domie yet.
All right. It's starting to rain a little bit more. We might have to move. Jim says, awesome. Thank you so much. Joel Nickerson says, there is a product on the market called Dry Lock that is for waterproofing concrete and cement. Might try that. It goes on like paint. Ooh, let us know how that works.
I couldn't think of the name. That's exactly what I had been researching. I'm just gonna have to get some, find out its consistency, you know, how syrupy or how thick it is, and how dense of a layer of Air Crete you need before, because I mean, it would probably waterproof any density of Air Crete. It would just take more product to do it. The less dense it is and the more porous it is. And so I would want to try and maintain a tight bubble and a closed cell type of foam situation on my Air Crete for that. So.
Tubular Guy 9 says that he watched the plasma cutting video on his iPad.
Awesome.
And couldn't comment for some reason, but it was very cool and precise. Thumbs up. Thank you. That's so awesome. Thank you. Can you spell out the company name for the base salt? Spell out.
Oh, yeah. Let me grab a deal.
And work. Hi from Kenya. I just discovered you guys. Great looking work on your wall panels. Do you need additional tensile strength from polyester fabric like they do Dome Gaia? Oh, he's doing that. He'll answer that in a minute.
Okay, it's called Advanced Filament Technologies, LLC, and it's called Pseudoglass. I don't know, can they read it? But it's spelled SUDAGLASS, and Advanced Filament Technologies. And it's their address is 14520 Memorial Parkway, Suite M137, Houston, Texas, 77079. But this particular bag that I have, this sample, is 3 millimeter or the diameter is 13 microns filaments, and it's meant to be dispersed into cement to add strength. And I have different sizes and they have all kinds of different products, but I have a whole sample batch from them. And so they have a website. It's www.sudaglass.com. So Sudaglass is spelled SUDAGLASS.com. So.
And then we have a question for you from Kenya. I just discovered, you guys, great looking work. On your wall panels, do you need additional tensile strength with the polyester fabric like they do on Dome Gaia?
I'm gonna just go ahead and say yes. That's how I did it, because I put a polyester type of a mesh on the outside, you know, in the stucco. And then on the inside, obviously, I laid down the rabbit wire, and so it has a very good shear strength and structural strength right now with the fibers on the outside under the stucco and the wire mesh on the inside. A lot of people gave me a lot of crap for not putting that mesh in the center of the deal, but it's not like regular concrete. I mean, it was more of an insulative value with a...
Do you have an estimate on the sale price of a ready to install of your rocket mass heater? Nope.
Nope. We're building the first one right now simultaneously as we're doing this. We're looking to pour it in about a week and pour the refractory around the burn chamber into the deal. And as I go through this process of building the first one, that's when I'm taking notes, and that'll be basically the foundation for the little book and pamphlet and instructional manual that I'm writing on how to put one together. If I do a ready to install one, it's gonna be probably over $1,000. That means I'll build it, I'll assemble it, I'll pour it and put all the Air Crete and everything in it, and it'll be just ready to install.
But that's a guesstimate.
But that's a guesstimate. It's gonna be over $1,000. And in all actuality, guys, I checked just a regular fireplace insert, just a cheap one, is $2,500. So it's really, for what it is not a bad deal at all, even at that. I'm moreover probably gonna push the kits, because I can just pop out the sheet metal and bend it and drill it to where somebody can just get the kit, and it's in a flat pallet, only about maybe 4 or 5 inches thick, because everything can be laid flat, and they can get the kit, put the pieces together, pop rivet them together, pour their own Air Crete in it, and install it. And that's moreover the direction I'm going. Shipping is going to be expensive on one that is completely put together, because you'd have a much larger pallet and shipping box to put it in. So I haven't got it all figured out right now. We're building the very first one right now simultaneously as we're cutting in the doors. Hopefully it'll be about next week. We will be pouring it, and I'll explain more about the refractory mix. There's a company that does refractory mixes for these furnaces that are meant for smelting and boiling, steel, and for that industry right here about 54 miles south of us. And I went and talked to the guy and told him what we were doing, and we put together a mix that is like 55% alumina, and it has a certain percentage of ceramic in it. And what is interesting about the mix is it doesn't become totally cured until we burn it and it gets up to 1500 degrees, and then you have the ceramic binders in it go into effect, and it becomes very, very hard. So even though it's going to be an Air Crete type stuff, it's going to be very hard, and it's going to put up with, but like 3,300 degrees. And so the whole debacle that has plagued rocket mass heating systems has been the J-tube and the amount of heat, anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4,000 degrees in there, depending on how well they're fluing. That's the weak spot in rocket mass heating systems. And I've done my research. I'm building the first one, and so we hope that it works out, and I think it will. I'll solve it.
Beaver
Whatever
Creek
it is.
Farm Life says, yesterday in Louisiana, it was 82 at 11 a.m. with a heat index of 94. Crazy the difference in weather. Wow, right?
Yeah.
And we got a smiley face from, I don't know how to say the name. Caught you live. Hello from Prince Edward Island, Canada. Love you guys. Well, hello, and give us a thumbs up, you guys. And also, if it helps, we try and go live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Right.
Hello from Russia. Well, hello. Wow, from Russia. Jason says, I noticed the angle iron in your Friday video, hence my question. Right? Just wanted to ask everyone on here to give these two marvelous friends a thumbs up. Thank you, Joel. Yes, thank you for saying that. Jeff says, maybe an angle iron on this big magnets too. Right? Like you mounted lights with, yes. Good morning from Alaska. Great to see the progress, Terry Oak says.
That's
Hello
awesome.
from Alaska.
And
we're excited.
Guys,
See you.
we had a sign donated to us. It's a big sign, and on the top it has lit up, it says, "What's next?" And then down below, it has places to slip in all kinds of signage and different projects and whatnot that we're working on. It's really super cool. So we are going to be changing kind of the formats of our live, and behind us there will be a big sign that says "What's next?" It'll give the projects that we're working on, and it'll give some of our past projects that have a check mark by them that have been completed. And so from week to week, you guys can kind of know what it is we're going to be doing that week, and what it is we're going to be working on, and what kind of progress we got. I think it's going to really help these live shows with the back and forth. It's going to help you guys. If I put up something that I'm going to be working on this project, whether it be a brick of Air Crete reinforced with 13 millimeter basalt fibers or something, I'm going to work on that week. We'll either be able to show you something, or it was a fail, or because every once in a while I have a failure, Not all the hundreds of my experiments have worked out, but it'll create a dialogue there, and so we're really excited about this sign.
There are 4 companies I know of, but I cannot remember the names, making a product you mix with Air Crete that waterproofs. I'll look for this stuff. Awesome,
Oh,
Alan.
cool.
That's cool. Yeah. William Craig says, how about building wind draft vortex generator tunnel using Air Crete?
That's interesting. I'm visualizing it right now, but I'd have to do a little more research to comment any deeper on it and wrap my mind around it.
Right.
But it sounds very interesting to me.
All right, we're going to move the camera, you guys, because we're getting rained on.
Let's move over there and we can show them our sign.
So sorry about the movement. You guys like movement, don't ya? There we go. And move the down a little bit, and so they
Okay.
can see. Move so they can see.
Oh. Yeah, the sign says, "What's next?" And this has fluorescent lights behind it, and it'll be lit up. And then down below, there's a place to put, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 3, 18 different projects or whatever that we're working on. And we showed you guys our new logo, and so we're gonna put our logos on either side of the what's next. And
Maybe. He gets all these grandiose ideas, and we'll see.
but we are gonna hang the sign right up here high on this wall where everybody can see it. And I'll point at the projects that we've done and completed on and whatnot. And when people ask a question about a past project or whatever, I'll say, he's referring to this project, and answer it.
Awesome.
But it ought to be fun.
William, keep in contact about that idea and keep him thinking about it. David Bennett says, I like the kit concept. I am still hopeful to build the Darwin rocket mass heater and market them here in Northeast. Isn't that going to be awesome, David?
You know what?
That would be amazing if we do that.
It would be really kind of fun to take our drawings and our blueprints and our PDFs and give them to another shop on the eastern side of the United States. Have them crank it out and maybe distribute it from that side in that region. And it would help with shipping tremendously, and it would keep the cost down. It would be kind of a fun experiment to do that. So let me get the first kit built, and then I'll take you through it piece by piece, and we'll just do a video about the kit and how it real quickly gets pop riveted together and whatnot. And hopefully we'll be pouring the first one in about a week.
Jeff says that we can take those magnets that we hung our lights with and use it to hold the angle iron and stuff when we cut and use the plasma torch.
Yeah,
Hold stuff in place.
that's true. I could make some nice custom backers.
Ed Bradley says 94 degrees Fahrenheit, real feel 106, high 98 in Lexington, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Woo, you guys are getting all the heat over there. It's raining and what would you say, 50
47?
out there?
Yeah.
Terry Oak says, the sign is a great idea. Thank you, Terry. Tubular Guy 9 says, I'm only so far. Come on, guys.
Well, thank you to Steve Millward. He donated the sign as well that says what's next with a question mark. I just think it's beautiful. And I can't wait to get it all cleaned up and up on the wall.
Right, we're super excited about the sign. And Tubular Guy 9 says, I'm only so far. Come on, guys. I don't get that, so sorry. Joel says, perfect move. Thanks. Jeff says, David Bennett, I want to build or start an Air Crete factory that makes Air Crete products. Right, Jeff? That's been one of your dreams for a while, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Jason says, when something doesn't work as expected, it's when you learn the most. Take that, the what's next concept to social media as well.
Right?
Right?
He's exactly right. I learned 100 times more from any of my failures that I've tried than I ever do from the ones that worked out. How many bricks did we pour before I figured out how to... I was just mixing in different levels of lime and baking soda and different things and ideas that our viewers were giving us.
And some of them would collapse a little bit.
Right.
And some wouldn't.
But
why?
It probably took me 20, 30 bricks or pours before I finally found the mixture that I could just pour in and it would stay right where I left it and get stiff. And you know, I know that everyone struggles with the same things. If you're gonna use just straight Portland cement and water as your slurry, and then use a detergent like a dish detergent or 7th generation as your deal, there's so many elemental things that will affect whether that stays stable or not, depending on the temperature, the humidity, the weather outside, whatever condition that you're pouring that stuff in. And I've seen videos where people are building domes and whatnot, where one batch, and they're done them the exact same way, the exact same slurry, the consistency, the way they foamed it was the exact same way. And one day the clouds were over and it was a little bit shaded, and the batch turned out completely different than it did when it was a little bit more humid and sunny.
Can you guys hear the rain?
Here it comes. We're under an old tin roof. Give me a dirt road and an old tin roof and I'm good to go, man.
At 79, even the kit would be a big project for me, but would like to use yours for my backyard wood shop. Would cost close to 2,000 Canadian from your estimate, but still interested for this fall. Well, that's awesome,
See,
Bert.
and that's, I mean, when you
Thumbs
really
up.
take into account how much a normal wood burning apparatus costs, just even a fireplace insert, they're like $2,500. You know, if I can build them, get them in, holy cow.
I hope you guys can hear us.
It is raining hard. Big drops.
And Bert says that is with exchange and shipping taxes for the buying
Right.
wood, rocket mass heater. David Bennett says, Jeff Cookie, me too. Where are you located? East Washington. Ben says hi, but Jeff is willing to relocate. Ben says, I love your work and always you are the best. Ben, you're awesome. Thank you for that amazing comment. Tubular Guy 9 says, I'm the only thumbs up so far.
So guys, you know what's interesting about the rocket mass heater? It's really compact. It's something that you could move from home to home, so that's the portable part of it. Where traditionally a rocket mass heating system has been a huge masonry project, and I mean it's pretty much like a brick chimney in any house. It, you know, stays with the house. But what's interesting about it is 6 months ago, Julie with Dirt Patch, having left her little homestead and went to Oklahoma for a while, she just got back a couple weeks ago, and the day she got back and got in her cabin, she sent us a text and says, have I told you guys how much I love my rocket mass heater? Because she just lit it up and it just performed flawlessly. And this is like the 3rd year of it being in. And I don't know, that's just kind of a testament to the system. If you have a mountain cabin or anything where you want, you know, a light and portable type of rocket mass heating system that's going to perform flawlessly, this is it. And I'm just trying to get the longevity of it sorted out. Meaning, I'm putting together a refractory mix that hopefully will be epic. That it can just have a service life of years and years and years. And then after maybe 10 years, you can bust it out and just pour it with a new one, you know. But we'll see how it goes. Time will tell.
The Critter Widow says, just got here. Did you ever finish the shed? The door is not on it yet, and so no, not yet.
Oh, are they talking about Grandma and Grandpa?
I think so. Because we call this the shop and we call that the shed.
Oh, yeah. We've got to finish the cobblestone pathway up to the door, and the last thing to do is just install the doors on it. But they're still using it. They they put a makeshift door on it, and it has Grandpa's gold wing in it and everything. And it held up through the freeze-thaw cycle in the winter like nobody's business. It's an awesome structure.
Jeff Krupke asked if the website is up and running.
The Insiders Club website, I got all the bugs worked out, but I haven't got the forum installed on it. I'm working on doing that right away. I got so many things to do.
We run around with our heads cut off, just so you guys know. And David Bennett says he lives in upstate New York here. I am a waterfowl farmer, musician, and trade jack.
Awesome.
That's awesome, David. Joel says, I can hear the rain there. We're supposed to get rain today, too. Right. Thumbs up. We can hear fine. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys can still hear us. Love the roof rain. Speak up. Okay. I have trouble speaking up. Jeff Krupke says, wow, rain's hard. Nice having that roof so it does not ruin poured panels. Correct. It'll be wonderful having a big work area lean-to where we're out of the elements.
Right.
And Dan says, in one video you poked holes in the pipe refractory and filled them with sodium silicate. Is that still a thing to do?
Yeah. It works. It worked great. I was trying to take just strictly Air Crete, which is your Portland cement and water slurry and foam Air Crete, and see what I could do to it to make it put up with a lot more heat. That's how I did Julie's stove, and it's still holding up on its third year just fine. If you watch when I built the heat riser, I saturated it as well with the sodium silicate, and it does work great. I'm just wanting to kind of take it to the next level with the alumina cement and the ceramic core stuff to see if I can make a rocket mass heating J-tube core type of a fire brick situation that will last almost indefinitely for years and years and years. And so it does work, but it's probably not the most efficient process because it takes a lot of steps. You have to pour a special refractory mix that I put together with silica sand in it. I use silica sand because silica doesn't even start to melt or become fluid at all until after like 3,300 degrees. And then I drilled it to protect all the aircrete around the silica sand. I drilled it and then tried to saturate it completely with the sodium silicate or the water glass. I did a lot of experiments on tests with that refractory mix on the density level of it and how much foam I put in it. And I would actually drill holes in a block, dump sodium silicate in the hole, and then wait a while and see how far in it soaked. And I had to actually aerate it quite a bit to get it completely soak in and saturate. And I want to have a little bit more of a wear surface type situation and a little bit denser of the aircrete. And it's hard to get sodium silicate to soak into a denser aircrete. It has to be really fluffy and light. And people have a difficult time pouring fluffy and light aircrete and keeping it stable. I know it took me many experiments before I was able to get it stable. And so what I'm going after is longevity and user friendliness and duplicatable, meaning that anybody out there can duplicate what I've done. A lot of the stuff that I've done, there's certain people out there that have a little bit of experience with cements and stuff and understand what the perlite's for. I get all kinds of questions. Why do you put the perlite in? They think that it's like an aggregate and I put a lot of it in. I don't. I put a very minimal amount of perlite in. That perlite is saturated and soaked with water before I put it in, and it acts as an internal curing agent. Cement cures harder, quicker, and gets stiffer and stronger the wetter it is as it cures. You'll notice that a lot of people posted questions about my slab and said, how did you keep it moist and wet during the curing process? That's a critical part of Portland cement. And so that's all the perlite is inside the mix, as an internal curing agent. You have all these little pockets of water where that you have these soaked particles of perlite all throughout it, and it keeps it moist and wet. And that's a huge part of keeping it stable as well as light and fluffy. And so
David Bennett says, well, I need to go and change my left front wheel bearing and CV axle in my pickup truck.
I can relate.
At 70, it is not as easy as a couple decades ago.
Oh.
Have a great weekend. David Bennett, you have a great weekend.
You know
too.
what? He's 70 and he's still mechanic
Kicking.
and
He's awesome.
He's kicking it. He's replacing his CV joints and his wheel bearings on his rig. That's awesome.
Right.
I just did that a couple weeks ago on my pickup.
Right. Tubular Guy 9 says, I can hear you. Just kidding. Ha. Dan says, Julie rocks. Purchase your refractory mix recipe. That's awesome.
That's cool. And I sold a lot of the refractory mix recipes after I put that out. But to make it work, you're right. I had to drill it, saturate it with water glass, and I just want to put together a more user-friendly mix, and I want it to be a true refractory, meaning it's going to have the same elemental properties in it as the bricks and the liners and whatnot that they use for in these smelting processes that put up with 4,000 degrees heat for years and years and years. And that's what I'm after. And so
Joel Nickerson says, I want to wish you and your family a very nice Memorial Day weekend and be safe. Joel, thank you. And
awesome.
We hope you guys have a great Memorial weekend also. Jeff says, keep up the great work. Thank you, Jeff. And the Critter Widow says that I have a 100-pound propane tank RMH lined with fire brick, all replaceable. Air Crete blocks would be nice.
Okay, there's a
sounds
situation right there where she took a 100-gallon propane tank, which that's pretty big. That's a pretty big propane tank. And they turned it into a rocket mass heater. They lined it with fire bricks. And I mean, that thing has got to weigh 1,000 pounds. I don't know if you guys have ever felt a fire brick. And that's another thing that I'm after, is putting together a mix that makes a fire brick that's more insulative, puts up with more heat, and is about half the weight and a lot lighter. And I'm going to achieve that.
Sorry about my alert. And over $100 a brick.
Wow.
Wow. And a 100-pound tank. Yeah, so that is way heavy.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, is there anything else you wanted to say before we go?
No.
We're at 48 minutes.
I wish we had our sign up, and I want to put like a thermometer, almost like a percentage, like put the projects we're working on, what percentage of the way we are done with completing them and getting the problem solved for that project. But we're not there yet. We want to get our sign up. This is going to be kind of our area where we're going to do our lives, and we're going to have the different projects that I'm working on in the back. It's going to be fun. So we got a lot of work to do today. We better get after it.
All right, you guys have a great day. And Tubular says, are y'all going to have Air Crete pizza for Memorial Day weekend? We might just have some pizza, but I don't have an Air Crete oven yet. Only Julie does.
I made one for Julie for a friend. We could go out to home Dirt Patch Heaven and have pizza. Okay.
I guess we could. We'll just have to see what Julie's plans are, though.
Right.
And may God bless everyone greatly.
I know her oven is on right now because it's 40-something degrees out there, so I know she has that stove going.
She has been talking about how she loves that oven, and she'll use it as like a slow cooker. And she'll just put food in the morning and in the morning, and then let it cook all day, and by evening, the dinner's done and cooked, and it's perfect. And she doesn't have to worry about it.
Right, it's like the perfect combination between crock pot and
Oven. So if she wants to, she can like bake something in it, you know, like a normal oven, or use it as a crock pot. It's awesome. And also burn pellets. The Critter Whittle, her rocket mass heater burns pellets. That's cool.
Yeah. And my rocket mass heater, obviously I posted some drawings of a different insert to put in that'll allow it to burn pellets as well. And so I'm really curious about the efficiency there. We're gonna make one for ourselves. It'll be installed in the container in the Air Crete laboratory. We're gonna have a lot of fun this summer as we go ahead and insulate this whole Air Crete laboratory with Air Crete. And that's when I'm gonna be doing a lot of different experiments with these different waterproofing situations to waterproof Air Crete. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that.
Thank you for your videos. I've learned a lot. Thank you, Daniel. Tubular says, great chat, get her done. And Beaver Creek put our Etsy shop on there. There's a link there for all of our PDFs on mixed designs and foamate and everything. If you're interested, have to hire a full-time helper. Yes, Jeff, if we could, and could help you out. And he says he could help us out. Awesome, we'll keep that in mind. All right, you guys, have a great day, and we will talk to you